Well, there were two tactics going on. The first, of course, was the fact that the meeting was taking place in Moscow. So that is on Putin's home territory. And that hasn't happened for many years, certainly since the annexation of Crimea in 2014. Nobody really wanted to be seen with Putin at all. So the very fact that he's been able to get Emmanuel Macron to go to Moscow is the first diplomatic coup. And then, as you say, that table is so massive, and the colour scheme of the room is quite chilled and quite austere, that it does set the tone of something that's not warmth, it's not friendly, it's very, very hostile. And it's very much about separation. You've got people at the very end, social distancing notwithstanding, this very, very large table, far too large. And I think if I'd walked in to that room, I would have felt that I was being kept very much at a distance, more than an arm's length, but a metaphorical arm's length nonetheless.
Extraordinary, isn't it? Setting aside, international diplomacy, we've all heard stories, haven't we? Maybe some of us have lived through those stories of going for an interview. I've certainly been for one meeting where it was very obvious I was being made to sit in a chair that was the lowest chair in the room, so that I was looking up reverentially at the person who was interviewing me.
Yes, and in that moment, that could trigger all sorts of feelings in you of inadequacy or inferiority. And what those kinds of gestures are designed to achieve is precisely that, to put you in a situation where other emotions are triggered, that perhaps, I had never seen that photo of Angela Merkel and the dog, but if you know in advance that someone doesn't like dogs, and then you bring in, and it's not even a tiny dog, it's actually a really large dog, that's a real power play. That's basically saying, I'm in control, I can do whatever I like in this room, and there's nothing you can do about it. And similarly with Emmanuel Macron, even though France is currently holding the rotating presidency of the EU, so you could argue that he had a lot of weight to carry in that room. Nevertheless, he's given a lot of space between him and Vladimir Putin, who, if you notice, is also sitting with his arms folded in front of him, which is a very hostile, defensive posture. Emmanuel Macron instead has got his arms in front of him. So we see that played out, as you say, not just geopolitically, but also in every interview, in all sorts of settings. I've even heard of future in-laws who do that, just to kind of test the mettle of the person who's come to court their child, as if to say, if you think you've got one over on us because our child loves you, think again, because we're the ones with all the power.